Our project is divided into three parts. The first part is to download the data from the Twitter using a Python script. The second part is running 10 different queries on that data, and the third part will be building a machine learning model using PySpark on that data and creating graphs. So for the first part, I have written the Python script. Using this Python script, I have downloaded 100k tweets, and the data is related to voting Senate, Trump, House. The data looks like this is the sample of that data which I have downloaded using that Python script. Now I am running like 10 different queries on that data. So this is my program written in the Python to implement 10 different queries on that data. So the first query is to get the top most like the user which are having the most favorite counts will be shown here. This is the list of top users which are having the most favorite counts. The second query is to find out different keywords which are used in the tweets of the users. So I have selected like other, House, Trump, and Senate. So mostly people are not using the keyword House and Trump. Mostly people are using different words, like 91.7% words used in the tweets were not related to House, Trump, or Senate. The third query is related to where the tweet is generated. It is based on the location. So like most of the tweets are from rest of the world, like around 22% of the tweets are generated from United States, 46% of the tweets are generated from other locations, and remaining are not specifying their locations. The fourth query is to identify which users have the account verified in the data. So like there were like 1319 users which have their account verified. This account verified means the accounts of celebrities or any politicians or any famous people which are having an account verified on Twitters. The query 5 is tweet related, the tweets which are retweeted the most. The top 10 tweets that are retweeted the most will be shown here. The sixth query is it will give the list of top users which are having the most follow count. So the first one is Trump, and these are other users. The seventh query is will give the top 10 with are having the most friend counts. The eighth query is will provide the polarity of the tweets, the text written in the tweets. So like most of the tweets like negative was 27%, positive was 34%, and neutral were 38%. I am using a library for doing this thing to identify the polarity of the tweets. The ninth query was to identify the gender of the users which were writing the tweet. So the Twitter does not provide any field which can specify the gender of the users. So I am using a API to identify the based upon the name of the user to identify it is a male, female, or unknown. So due to the library was not so good, I'm mostly getting unknown for like half of the data, like 20% was around male, and 22% was around females. And the 10th query is a simple query which will just count the number of the tweets in the data. So there were 100k tweets, so it is that thing. For the second part, we have to build a machine learning model using the Spark. For that, I have decided a topic like to identify the tweet is negative or positive. So the model will identify if you give a new text, it will identify that it is negative or positive. So for that purpose, like actually the tweet data does not contain any result or the output that specify the tweet is negative or positive. For that purpose, I need to create a new table which has the result as the tweet is negative or the positive. For that purpose, I created a new table in which the fields were the text and the result. So I am giving this table to the model, to the Spark, to build the machine learning model. I have built two different model. using two different techniques. The first one was using the hashing TF plus IDF plus logistic regression. So by using this, I was getting an accuracy of 94%. And the second thing I used was a counter vectorization plus IDF plus logistic regression. This was giving me an accuracy of 95%. Mostly the counter vectorization discard infrequent token, and the hashing TF, it is dimensionality reduction with possible collision. This was my second part, and now I implemented the graph on that data. For creating the graph, I have used the retweet thing as the relation between two uh, vertices. So here the vertices will be the user, and the relation between the edges will be the retweet. For this purpose, I have just selected a specific location for creating the graph. I have used the United States as a location to, so this graph will be created with the user which have the location United States in their fields. So this is just showing the degrees of that. This is the vertices. Vertices will be the ID and the screen name. The edges will be the source ID and the destination user ID, and the relationship will be the retweet. So I'm getting top 5 high, the degree which are having the highest in degree. This is the result. This is for the lowest in degrees, and this is the part where I'm finding like the shortest path to one vertex which is having the user ID 250738777, and this was the output for that thing.